So let me start with this painting. As you can see, this picture is divided into two sections. One side is colorful, while the other side is just black and white. What do you think this means? Well, perhaps you are thinking of confusion, light versus dark, happiness versus sadness, positivity versus negativity. And who might the girl be in this painting? Well, it's me. This is my self-portrait. I was born imperfect. I was born with profound hearing loss. I got fitted with hearing aids at the age of 9 months old. However, it wasn't beneficial for me at all. Eventually, my parents made the decision to get cochlear implants for me at the age of 18 months old. And here are two pictures of me at that particular age. The picture on the left was taken right before I had to get my head shaved in preparation for the operation, and the picture on the right was taken a day after the operation. And a cochlear implant is basically an electronic device that is worn on the ear and replaces the function of the damaged hair cells in the cochlear organ to send sound signals to the brain. Now, this was a very brave decision on my parents' part at the time, considering that the technology was still considered very new and not many people were using it. However, they still decided to go through with this brave decision for my sake. And what they learned from that is we have to believe, make decision, then we can see the result. Not the other way around, which is the conventional wisdom. Seeing is believing. So if it wasn't for my parents making this brave decision at the time, I wouldn't be who I am today. So I am very grateful to them. In fact, you could say that I have the best of both worlds. I have the choice of living in a world of silence or a world of hearing, which is shown in my self-portrait. And if you ask me which one I prefer, of course, I would definitely choose the world of sound. So what I enjoy about the world of sound is being able to listen to music, fully experience movies, and have proper conversations with people. Now let's look at movies as an example. What constitutes the best movie experience? So think of movies like JAWS, Titanic, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and many others. What are the different elements that made you enjoy those particular films? It is not just the acting and cinematography that make up a movie, but one of the most important things in a movie is also the sound. Now, how would you feel if you were unable to hear? Let me walk you through my experience in a unique way, which I think has never been done before, and that is through my artworks. With this, I hope it will give you a much clearer picture, more appreciation, as well as be able to connect with me on a more emotional level on the journey that I am going through. The first phase is confusion. So this watercolor pencil painting depicts confusion. So here, the focal point is the boy who is standing in the middle of a crowd, and he stands out because he is colored in black and white, while the rest of the crowd is colorful. He also has an expression and gesture of confusion, and this shows that, without being able to hear, he is unable to comprehend what is going on in his environment, hence leading to confusion. Then the next phase is frustration. So this second artwork depicts frustration. And clearly, the boy has an expression of frustration on his face. And even his hands are covering his ears. There are also hands surrounding him and pulling at him from all different directions. This represents society's expectations. In the background, there's also typography saying silence all over it, and even creeping up along the boy's clothes, and this also emphasizes further on his deafness. And lastly, we have isolation. So here, the boy is trapped in the center of a spiral that is shaped like a cochlear. There are also piano keys lining the cochlear, and this represents sound. And the boy being curled up in the center of this cochlear shows just how isolated he is from the sound surrounding him. Can you feel the sadness emanating from this painting? That's exactly how it would feel if we are without hearing. Now, the process for me to get to where I am today and be able to talk to you all today was definitely not an easy one. So it may seem natural and easy for normal hearing people like you all. For instance, when you were very young and just starting to process sound and everything, you were able to automatically and easily pick up a language. Well, that's not the case for me. In fact, hearing through a cochlear implant is like hearing a very robotic sound, and this is an example of what it would sound like. Can anyone hear what this is? Yes, of course you can hear it, but do you understand it? No, right? Now, this is the original sentence.
The boy did a handstand. The boy did a handstand. The boy did a handstand.
So as you can see, a person with cochlear implant will not be able to actually hear right away, and it takes time and effort to be able to learn to properly process and comprehend the sentence. Now, let me play this robotic sound once again. So clearly, the process of learning to turn this robotic sound into normal sounds takes years of auditory verbal habilitation, starting from identification of the sound, vowels, words, vocabularies, sentences, eventually leading to communication. So now I am able to naturally and automatically process speech and sound. Since I've been wearing cochlear implants for a very long time, I do not hear this robotic sound anymore because my brain has adapted well to it. In addition, I also use up a lot more brain power when it comes to conversation with other people, as it requires extra focus and attention. However, this has also become my intrinsic advantage, since I am able to have a better concentration, which leads to me having a much longer attention span, as well as allowing me to build up on a natural perseverance. In the end, I was lucky enough to have my mom, who is trained in special education, guide me throughout this whole process. Now, what I've described can be summed up in this painting. So this piece shows the result if we have hearing and don't have hearing. So on the top part, we have hearing and verbal communication through cochlear implants, and on the bottom part, we have sign language. So with hearing and verbal communication through cochlear implants, the possibilities are endless, and that is symbolized by the bird on the top part. But without hearing, obviously, sign language would have to be the solution. However, it has its own limitations, since not everyone knows sign language. This next piece shows the achievement of attaining hearing and verbal communication through cochlear implants. So it shows the boy running along a music path with a galaxy in the background, and the galaxy symbolizes unlimited possibilities. In fact, the sky is only the beginning and the universe is the limit. So ultimately, this painting displays the endless possibilities that can be achieved through hearing and verbal communication through cochlear implants. That is why I named this painting Universe. You are the universe. So long story short, today I am able to turn my imperfection into a gift of hearing, with which I can help inspire and give hope to the hearing impaired community in Indonesia and beyond. So my role now is to be the advocate of hearing impaired individuals that can live a life with a sense of purpose and be a contributor to the family, community, society, nation, and to the globe without being a burden. So I close this talk with my self-portrait, which again has given me the best of both worlds, even though I was born imperfect. Through this, I was able to connect with many different people from all walks of life, such as parents of hearing impaired children, doctors, NGOs, government institutions, even media exposure, such as magazines and TV interviews. So I hope I've inspired you today. If I can do it, so can you. And remember, the sky is only the beginning. Thank you very much.